Welcome, my dear students. Welcome back. Another lecture. This is video number 16 in the corporate social responsibility, CSR, and in business ethics. And we will start now to talk about what is this chapter about: corporate law and corporate responsibility, what the meaning of corporate law and corporate responsibility, and the sustainability of the business and the environment and government and the private sector. So we'll take some points here to talk about the advantages of the corporate status. The concept of limited liability means that the owner or the shareholder or stakeholders of corporation, as well as director and manager, are protected by law, starting that in most circumstances. By the meaning of limited liability, means that there is a gap, or there is a separation between the owner's properties and business properties. So if, as example, if he missed or he lost, limited liability means it's limited in only what he invest in the business. So that means that I cannot, as example, if you put in the business $20,000 and you lost 100,000, in the limited liability, you are only responsible about the 20,000, but I will not ask you for the rest, for the other 80. This is the meaning of limited liability. Like we see here as example, here are the a corporation special stakeholders include, but not all, limited to, those are the stakeholders: the government, the employees, the customers, the media, the community, and the environment. Balancing the many responsibilities of the corporation, we have here the meaning of the shareholders' primacy, saying that founders Henry Ford's example here operates for the motor car company, primarily in the for-profit maximizing interest in shareholders. In the traditional corporate model, a corporation earns revenues and after deducting expenses, distributes the profits on the shareholders. So I will earn revenues, I will check out the costs, I will say all the revenues minus all the costs will give me the profits. Then I will take these profits and give it to the shareholders. Ford had announced that his company would stop paying big dividends to shareholders. So instead of just giving the money, all the profits to the shareholders, he would retain part of them for investment, and instead would use its profit to achieve several other goals. Like as example, he don't want to give you all the profits, but he want to give a part of the profit, and the other part will go for more investment, including improving the product quality, expanding company facilities, and perhaps most surprisingly, lowering prices. So I can also, this will help in lowering prices as well. Shareholders then sued Ford. They went to the court and complained him, asking the court to order Ford Motors Company to continue allocating the lion's share of profits to high dividends payments. Yes. It's ironic that the named shareholders who sued Ford were the Dodge brothers, former Ford suppliers who had recently started their own car company. So this is an example of, so what we get from this example about Ford now, what we get to the deduction is that the owner of the business or the business, it must satisfy in the first place the stakeholders and the shareholders. As shareholders are part of the stakeholders. Like we said before, for that reason, he must satisfy their needs and look for what they have to do. So this is a Ford's thing. What she did is act. So for that reason, they complain him because they are owners of business. They want to say, what's our business with your profits expansion? Why you give us part of the profit and you retain the rest? We want all the profits. That's what creates the problem. And they went to court to complain him. Stories like this, you can see it's affecting the corporate social responsibility. The two sides of the corporate social debate, the issues of corporate social responsibility is the subject of high-level global discussion and debating among leaders in the public and private sectors, such as the World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland. Numerous respected academic centers also hold forums for the corporate social responsibility, such as the Center of Democracy, Development, and so on. There is a moral minimum. The moral minimum in the corporate social responsibility a firm must undertake to satisfy, look at this, to satisfy the base threshold for acting ethically. So, like we said before, there is a big relationship. There is a great relationship between the ethics and the corporate social responsibility. Here we go now, we'll move forward. So we understood from this now that we need to work, the management need to work for satisfying the stakeholders' needs. A concept we touched on the preceding section is corporate personhood, is the legal doctrine holding that a corporation separate and apart from the people who are its owners and managers. Once we are a corporation, then I don't act like it's on my own mind, even though I am the one who invests in it. But it's a legal, the corporation is a legal entity, which means it's separated from its owner. Legal entity means separated from its owners. Some of the same legal rights and responsibilities enjoy the natural person, physical humans, based on interpretation of the word person in the 14th Amendment. Anyhow, I just want to tell you that the word sustainability means that the business is having its own identity. It's having its own identity. So it is not like my own now. Even if I suppose I will do a corporation company and I will invest in it $1 million. Once I have the corporation company, in that case, I am totally disconnected as an owner and the business. The business is having its own entity and I have my personal entity or entity. Okay. The standards of sustainability is including the ISO. And we talk about the ISO 14000, a series of standards promote effective environmental management system. This is very important. The 14000 is about only the environment. While we find that the 9000 are about the 9000 is about, is a series about the quality of the product. Here we have the countries of most ISO 360, 400, 460. So here we have countries with the most ISO 14000 certified. In the first place comes Japan, is having 2,600 companies certified ISO 14000. Come Germany next, 1,600. The United Kingdom come third. Those are commitment. They have commitment towards the environment and they keep the environment clean. Look at the companies in Japan, 2,600, they are ISO certified. Then this number goes down till we go to France. France is 360, Switzerland 400, Korea 460, Netherlands 475, Taiwan 500. The United States, though it's very one of the greatest economies in the world, if it is not the supreme economy, 590, and so on. So close to 15,000 companies worldwide have chosen to be certified ISO 14000, including Nissan, Ford, and IBM. By the year 2050, we will be 10 billion people. Those people are having their own problems. They are also, and the technology and the globalization, all these affect, and also the factories, all this will affect on how the world will work. how the will work. Because too much pollution will be there, how it will be arranged in 2050, how it will look like. Now, all the efforts are going to the clean environment. What would you do? Here we have this flooding in Houston, the status, and check out this case. We will read it together and see what we will do. Flooding in Houston. A symbiotic relationship exists between development and flooding in urban areas such as Houston, Texas. Imagine you are a member of the Urban Planning Commission for the city and the council. Now what we won't say here, just we have floods, and the floods cause damages. Like it caused damages of approximately 75 in 2001. The mayor of the city council have asked the planning commission to propose a specific solution to the flooding problem. So we have flooding, we have infrastructure, we have a green environment. This solution must not rely exclusively on taxpayers' funds and government programs, but rather must include actions by a private sector as well. So we have here to share the private sector in fighting or working against the consequences of the flooding. One of the most direct solutions, simply trade-off. The Greater Houston area must reduce the percentage of land covered by concrete while increasing the percentage of land dedicated to green. This is the core of the problem here. The core of the problem is in this area. It's here in this part. So we need the concrete to be less than the green areas. We must give the green a big part because this is an environment issue. This acts like a sponge to absorb floods waters before they can do severe damages. Look at this. So it will work as a sponge, like the piece of sponge, it's absorbed the water. So I want green more because when it's green, it will absorb this water. The Planning Commission thinks the best way to accomplish this is to issue municipal ordinance requiring corporate developers and builders to set aside as green space an amount of land at least equal to what will be covered by concrete. So one by one concrete and one green. Neighborhood, office building, parking lots, shopping centers. However, this will increase the cost of development. Yes, because it means more land will be required for each type of products, and as a result, developers will have higher costs. So here, the developers are the builders. The builders. So the builders here, as a new thing, we need to make a green areas more than we make the concrete, because these green areas will work like a sponge. It will absorb the water of the floods. So what do you think about this? Is this a right decision or no? That's the point. Shall stop here and see you in the next lecture. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are going also for cases about the CSR. Thank you.